Hello and good morning. Let's take a look here. Make sure you're keeping up with your work. You're going to turn everything in tomorrow except your bell work. Also, tomorrow, math fees, $5. Also, calculators by Monday. So you should have a calculator on your desk. It doesn't have to be a fancy one, just a calculator at this point. Later on, you'll need one that says sine, cosine, and tangent for when we do trigonometry, but that's not till December or January. So let's take a look here. Number one, and by the way, this is on the back side of your bell work, and this is week 1A. Make sure you have a label on it, okay? You should turn in 9 pages. All right, let's take a look here. To find the distance, well, if you had to, you could put a number line, 0, -4, and positive 23. So this would be 23 plus 4 more would be the distance. So the distance is 27. But I want you to use this formula for the EOC. So you're going to take the big number. In this case, the 23 obviously is bigger. It's a positive. So we're going to take 23, the big number, minus the small number. And the small number here is a negative. But the formula has a negative. You see? The formula has a negative and the number has a negative. That becomes a double negative, which becomes a plus, which gives us 27. Make sure you know that, okay? Again, the formula has a negative, and in this case, the number has a negative, therefore it becomes a plus. All right, remember you have a little quiz tomorrow on your rules. There are 4 rules that I want you to know. And, all right, let's go on. Draw collinear points. Well, what does collinear mean? Remember mama duck and baby duck? So in a straight line. There it is. Let's keep moving. It says draw angle XYZ. So just make an angle. Okay? And we're going to call it X, Y, and Z. Remember the middle one is your vertex, your elbow. So put vertex right here. That's where it turns. Okay? See how it comes down and then turns? All right, let's keep going. Put a point B in the interior. Remember the interior is anywhere up in here. So put point B. Now draw a ray through that. Now look at what it says. BYZ. So put your pencil on the B, slide down to the Y, and slide over to the Z. So this angle here is 30 degrees. And XYB is this upper angle, and that's 10 degrees. And I bet they're looking for the whole thing. Let's find out. Find the measure of angle XYZ. So you're going to add these up by angle addition postulate. Write that down because that is an EOC question. Okay? So angle addition postulate. So the measure of angle XYZ is going to be 10 plus 30, which equals 40 degrees. Make sure you know how to draw that. If you need to, redo it. We already named the vertex. We talked about the math fee and the calculator by Monday. All right, put everything away. Tomorrow you're going to start turning in your homework for the week and last week. All right, so here on a new sheet of paper, I'm going to show you how to name an angle. Okay, so let's do that first. So put angle, and let's make an angle like this. Let's call this X, or A, B, and C. All right, there's 3 ways you can name it. You could start here and go this way. So you could say angle ABC. You can go backwards, CBA. Or in this case, you can name it by the vertex. So you could say angle B. So there's 3 ways to name this angle. Make sure you know that. A ray looks like this. So put ray. A ray has a point and then it goes on forever. Okay? So let's call this ray AB. So the way you're going to name this is by the end point. This is called the end point because it stops right here. It's the end. So you start with that. So you're going to say ray, and you use that symbol, ray AB. And that's it. If you say ray BA, then that would be this ray going this way, and that would be wrong. Okay? So you got to start with the end point. All right, let's keep moving. A line, you need 2 points to make a line. So here's a line, and we'll call it line AB. Sometimes they give you a fancy letter like a B or something like that, okay? So you could name this line with 2 arrows, AB. You can go backwards, and you can say line BA on this one. You can't go backwards on an array, but a line you can go backwards. Or you can name it by that fancy letter, and you could say line B. And those are the 3 ways to name that line. So you can go forward or backwards. Today we're doing distance formula, and we're doing points. So you got to know how to graph a point, okay? And if you don't, you need to learn it pretty quick. Okay, so pay attention up here. Right now put X and Y on your paper, and then I want you to graph this point, -2 and 5. See if you can graph point A. Where is it? Remember, this is your X, and this is your Y. I'll give you a minute to try to figure that out. Does anybody know how to graph that? Okay, the X comes first, so this one can only go left or right, and the Y can only go up or down. It's kind of like a joystick. So you do this one first, always. So you go over, and then up or down. Copy that down. Over, and then up or down. That's the way you do it. So here it's a negative, so you're going to go 0, 1, 2. So -2. And then you're going to go up 5 because it's a positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put a dot right there. And that's how you do it. Over and then up or down. Again, copy that down. All right, I want you to try another one. I want you to graph this point, -2, -5. Graph that point. Okay, so -2. Remember, over first. And since it's a negative, 1, 2, -2, and then down because it's a negative. Right here. Make sure you understand that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's where that point is. Okay, you have to understand that in order to do today's worksheet. All right, now let's take a look at the worksheet. Now today, you're learning how to do the distance formula, and you're going to be doing this all year long. Okay, it's going to show up on every test you take, and especially the EOC. So let me show you how to do distance between 2 points. All right, now let's take a look at this one right here. And it's kind of small, so I'm going to blow it up. Okay, and then I'm going to do some focus. And there it is. All right, now listen carefully. I want you to look at this one and tell me, we're going to call this point A, and we're going to call this point B. And I want you to tell me where these points are. And if you cannot do that, then you will not be able to do the distance formula. So watch how I do this. You start at the origin, that's 0. Remember, over. So -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be -5, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a positive because you're going up. This other one here, you start at the origin, 0, and you're going to go over 1 but down 2. So since you're going down, that's a negative. Make sure you understand that, okay? If you get the points right, then you got a better chance of getting the answer right. All right, now copy this down. Put distance formula and put a star by it. Distance formula, and you're going to have to memorize this. So here we go. Put D equals the square root, and then put it just like this every time. So every time on the worksheet, I want to see this. In fact, as soon as you get your worksheet, write this down and memorize it. Your X's go here and your Y's go here. You cannot mix x's and y's. Okay, so watch what I do. It doesn't matter which point you start with, okay, but you got to use your x's. So now I'm going to use a different color to show you. So here's my x, and here's my x. The first one is my x. I'm going to go this way. And again, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to put -5 right here. Remember, your x's go here. And then I'm going to put a 1 right here. Now watch how I do the y's. You have to go in the same direction. You cannot change directions. So here's another color. So here's my y, which is the second one. So you see how my arrow is going in the same direction? If you change directions, you'll miss it. So I'm going to put a 5 here. And this one is a negative. Now some kids are like, well, Mr. Tubes, you already have a negative right here. That's true, but that negative is in the formula. And this negative is with the number. So that's going to be a double negative. Okay, make sure you understand that. Okay? If you learn it kind of quick, then you got it. All right, now look up here. I taught you numbers before. A -5 minus 1 is a -6 squared. This becomes a plus, and that gives you 7 squared. I'm almost done, actually. A -6 times a -6, that's a double negative, so that becomes a positive. Whenever you square it, it's a positive, plus 49. So now I'm going to get my calculator. Now, if you don't have a calculator, no, you can't use your phone, but you're going to have to just pencil it out. So 49, if you do have a calculator, get it out of your book bag, plus 36, press equals. So you're going to get the square root of 85. And without a calculator, you can stop there. But I do have a calculator. So you're going to hit the shift key, and you see the square root way down there? I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to hit shift, square root, and I get 9.2. So this is approximately 9.2, and let's check it. All right, that's what they have, is 9.2. All right, now you're going to try one. All right, so I want you to take a look at number 3. All right, let's take a look at number 3. Okay, right now, sitting at your desk, I want you to tell me what this point is and what this point is. Write it on your paper. Okay, remember, start at the origin, and you go over, and then up or down. Okay, put a star by that. So I'm going to start here. So I'm going to go -2 and then up 1, 2, 3, 4, it looks like. So 2 or -2 and then up 4. This one is over 0 but up 3. 0 and 3. Okay, now put your formula like I told you, like this. See how quick that was? Okay, write your formula. Let me slide this over a little bit. Okay, remember your x's go here and your y's go here. So right now, I want each of you to put your x's and then put your y's. Do that right now. Try to keep up with me, okay? All right, my x's are the first one, so I'm going to go this way. So I'm going to say -2 and 0. And then my y's are the second one, so that's going to be 4 minus 3. And that's not a double negative this time. 0, you can just get rid of it. A -2 times a -2, when you square it, that becomes a positive 4. 4 minus 1 is going to be 1, and when you square it, you get 1. So you're going to get the square root of 5. Now, if you don't have a calculator, you stop right there. But I do. So I'm going to press 5, shift, square root. I get 2.2, and then I check it. And that's what they have. Okay, so this is what you're doing today. Now, when you get down to the bottom, it doesn't matter which point you start with. I would just go ahead and keep doing it the same way. Put your x's, and again, make sure you do your formula. And this is what we're doing today, and this is what we're doing tomorrow. The distance formula. Now, there's something called the midpoint, but we'll talk about that another time. All right, I'm going to shift gears now, and we're going to shift to my next class, which is MCR. All right, so for my MCR students, let me make this a little bit smaller so we can get it in. All right. Okay, let's take a look here. So in this right here, you're going to break this into 7 pieces using 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's going to give you, I think, 7 pieces. And 2 out of 7 would be right here. Make sure you understand that 2 out of 7 is only this much. Here you have to find the same denominator. Okay, now I didn't show you how to do least common denominator yet. So just multiply 3 times 5 and get 15. So you want to multiply this by 3 to get 15. And this one you want to multiply by 5. And you got to do the top and the bottom. So that gives you 9 over 15 plus 5 over 15, which gives you 14 over 15. This one you're multiplying, so you just go straight across. So that gives you 3 over 15. This one is division, so you got to flip and change it. So it's going to be 3 over 5 times 3 over 1. And now you multiply straight across. So that's going to give you 9 over 5. Okay, so on today's work, you guys are going to be doing page 28. And let me look at page 28. Here it is right here. Now on page 28, you're going to have some mixed numbers here. Okay, if you look at this one right here. In fact, let's work it. So copy this down. Put 4 and 3 over 5 plus 3 over 5. Copy that down. Now, one way to do it, and it may not be the best way, but at least you know how to do it. So watch what I do. 4 times 5 is 20 plus 3. So 23 over 5 plus 3 over 5 gives me 26 over 5. And that's okay. And that's how you can do this. So I change the mixed number to an improper fraction by multiplying and then adding. All right, so today's work is all of this, page 28. And then when you're done, if you finish early, and you might, finish up yesterday's work. Tomorrow you'll turn everything in. Tomorrow is math fees, and that's $5. And then Monday is calculators. So you must have a calculator by Monday. All right, that's it. Have a good morning. I'm going to email all you parents tomorrow. Bye now.